welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to part number 2 for this FIFA 19 career mode, where we are trying to rebuild Chelsea, obviously, to become, well, one of the top squads in Europe, but also around the world. Right now, we're on our second season, okay. For the actual season, or for this series to be a success, we must win Champions League, otherwise it's not a success. And so far, we've won the Europa League, we've won the Premier League with this Chelsea squad, so we're just yet waiting to win the Champions League, obviously, which ain't gonna be easy. I'd say, you know, we at least need another season, okay, to have a hope of winning the Champions League, I think, personally. So, yeah, we need probably another season to do that and to succeed in that aspect and in that goal. But, you know, as I say, it's not gonna be easy. It is certainly a difficult one, always, and, yeah, but we're looking to conquer it. And hopefully we can. We brought in the likes of Icardi, Mario Icardi. Obviously we brought in Mo Salah, and we've kept Eden Hazard. So in terms of the squad, it is a good squad. Like, you know, there is certainly some skill there in Mo Salah, you know, Icardi, and Hazard. Right now I think our weakness has to be the defence and the midfield. So, you know, I think that's where we're certainly suffering a little bit. But Season 3, we're going to look to address them issues, and hopefully Season 3 we can aim for Champions League, of course. So yeah, that's the aim. Obviously though, before we do that, we have to sim forward the time, and we have to skip into Season 3, of course, or sim forward into Season 3, should I say, not skip. Skip's quite a silly phrase, really, when we think of it. No one skips into Season 3, but we can sim forward to Season 3. Anyway, obviously, as I say, hopefully we can do it in 3 seasons. That's the goal. We've already spent 2 of these seasons. In our Watford career mode, rebuilding Watford, we only spent 6 seasons rebuilding Watford, and we won the Champions League in that 6th season. So obviously, if we spend, you know, 3 seasons, that's half the time for double the club, more or less, I would say, because Chelsea are double the club of Watford. So, you know, 3 seasons to rebuild Chelsea, to take them from, you know, well, from top 4 to Champions League, I think is realistic. Because obviously we are a better club than Watford starting out anyway, so if we don't do it in half time, that's not good. In a way, I feel like I would have failed a little bit the rebuild, but yeah, you know, obviously time will tell how long it will take for us to win. But as I say, I want to do it in half the time, so it won't be certainly as long, or that's the plan anyway. And obviously, hopefully, we can do that, of course. But, of course, we're still waiting for everything to go right. But at the end of the day, we could do it next season, and I think, you know, it's the most likely next season, or more likely than the last season. Tottenham won the league somehow last season in Season 2. I don't know how. We won it in Season 1. So, yeah, you know, obviously, I don't know how Tottenham won the Premier League, because Tottenham, don't get me wrong, they usually bottle it, but this year they've put a cap on it. And they've won their first Premier League title in the club's history, of course. So, yeah, you know, obviously Tottenham's got a bit of silverware, and being a Chelsea fan, as you know, we hate Tottenham. So not nice to see that, FIFA. Make sure next season or in FIFA 20, you make sure that Tottenham don't ever win Premier League titles again, because Chelsea hates Tottenham, as we know. Still, anyway, enough of the mimicking or the joking about Tottenham FC, of course. Formula One's on today, qualifying for the Belgium Grand Prix, by the way. But in 30 minutes' time, you know, obviously it will be free practice free, so hopefully we can actually get this video finished before then, so I can watch free practice free, because, yeah, I want to do that. I want to get ASAP over done with now. I think, you know, we can go after the Champions League. Hopefully, we can. Obviously, we're going to play a 3-3-4, attacking midfield shape, of course. And that's anyway the structure we're playing anyway in this FIFA career mode. Obviously, we got N'Golo Conte, we got obviously some of the best players in the world. We just need it to click, I think. I think also we may need to find a replacement for Jorginho. So yeah, you know, I think it just needs to click, and we need to maybe bring in 1 or 2 more players to help that click into place, just to give us that extra oomph. And that's all we need right now, is that extra oomph in the defence and in the midfield. I don't think we're too far off from cracking the code sort of thing, if you understand where I'm coming from on that one. But nonetheless. So, obviously, we're waiting for the FIFA 2021 season to load. Obviously, this is the longest part about the FIFA or any FIFA video that I'm doing right now. It's just the, like, travelling from season to season, and FIFA needs to address this. It takes way too long to load a FIFA season. It takes about, you know, how long we've been waiting? Must be at least, well, 2 minutes we've been waiting, you know. And the thing is, I'm a bit concerned about some of the things I've heard about next year's game. Okay, it sounds really cool, some of the features they've introduced, but at the same time, I'm a bit worried if you want to do, like, let's say, these type of videos, that it's going to be more or less impossible, where you're going to have to sort of sim it in a slower way. So you won't be able to sim matches the same way as before. You're going to have to take more time and care when dealing with your players, like to keep them all happy and motivated, otherwise you will lose your job. And I think, you know, that's a bit scary, or a bit not good, like, because it just means that you're forcing the player to spend more time, and FIFA's a long game, I think, you know. Even when you're simming through season to season, like, you know, it takes quite long, and it gets longer, I feel, as the game cycle goes on. So the deeper you go into career mode, let's say we went to 2030, it'd probably take 5 minutes to load, or 6 minutes to load, or something like that, and that's too long, you know, for any career mode to load up. I think, you know, it should take maybe a maximum I'm talking 1 minute to load, because yeah, it should be a smooth operation, I think, personally. Anyway, we're gonna play, obviously, pre-season friendlies. Obviously, always good to do them, obviously, I always say. Like, yeah, you know, obviously, I think it's good to do them. Make sure you do pre-season friendlies, I always would advise. Anyway, we're going to, well, we're looking for a centre-back and a right-back. Overall, that's what we're looking for this season. So, I think we've found a right-back, Kimmich. I'm going to make a bid for him. Probably going to have to bid quite high, anyway, for this guy. We've got 213 million, so a bit more than last year. 13 million, actually more than last year. I'm going to offer 50 million straight up. Good deal, I think that is 50 million if we can get that deal done. They want 80. Okay, so they want 80. Let's go 60. Obviously, Kimmich is 88 overall. He's probably right now the best right back in the game. Right now, I'm not talking about, you know, in the future. You know, try and stick at 60. Okay, so we're going to take some time, so we'll let them obviously take that time to consider that deal. But whilst we're waiting for him, we are going to pay that for Frankie de Jong. I think that would be a good deal anyway for Frankie de Jong, and we're going to try and bring in Frankie de Jong to that midfield and sort of kick out Jorginho, arguably. So yeah, you know, obviously we've got 102 million left after this, so got still a bit of money. Now, I'm not going to waste money. I'm only going to think I'll bring in 2 players. I'll probably put in Christensen into the squad, because he's still a good young player. Let's see if they'll accept that. So they will accept something in that region, and we'll take that. So Frankie de Jong is the first signing of the season we've made, obviously, for the young midfielder, of course. Frankie de Jong, brilliant player, of course. As you guys know, I really do rate Frankie. I think anyone who doesn't rate him is on cocaine or crack, possibly, because, you know, at the end of the day, how can you not rate Frankie de Jong, one of probably football's most talented midfielders at the moment in the game? And yeah, you know, obviously he deserves to be at Barcelona, I think, anyway. So we're obviously waiting for, you know, that Kimmich deal to come back, see if they'll accept Kimmich into the squad, of course. Icardi, however, been offered 73 million. We're going to reject that offer, of course. We need him. He'll be certainly an important attacking force. So they've come actually down a little bit. I will accept that, because they've come down by 15 million. So I will accept that deal. 65 million for Kimmich. And obviously that's a very good deal actually for obviously the German right back, of course, of Kimmich. So, you know, Kimmich is going to be our second signing of the season. We're going to try and get him on a 5-year deal, of course, because we may need him. I don't think we'll need, well, I don't think he'll take 5 years, but, you know, in case it does, at least we've got him there now playing for us for the next 5 years, you know, and, you know, you can't really complain. Going to offer him a £200,000 wage contract, so that'll certainly see his wage increase. And Kimmich is our second signing of the window, and in a way I'm actually quite happy with this window. It's gone just as I wanted it to go. We've got in the players that we needed to bring in. We've got in our right back. We've got in that you know, midfield player, of course. So yeah, it's certainly gone to plan, that has, I would have said. But of course, at the end of the day, we'll soon find out. I'm going to kick Willian out the squad, so Willian no longer going to be on the books, really. He's only going to be a reserve player. He's no longer good enough. I've promoted Batshuayi to the bench. I think Batshuayi is good enough to be on the bench anyway. So, right, anyway, so that is obviously, well, that's this first bit done. So we're now going to skip to December the 31st, and we've got actually a match on the 31st against Tottenham Hotspur. So obviously that's pretty big, but at the end of the day, we're in Champions League. The main thing is that we obviously win games. You know, the main thing is that, you know, we, you know, able to stay in the top 4, firstly. Secondly, we need to get to the group of 16 and then progress from there. So obviously that's how really we've got to work it, obviously. So it could take time, you know, for that. Hopefully we can, you know, get to the final this season, or somewhere good in the Champions League, at least quarterfinals. If we don't get quarterfinals, then boy oh boy, we're heading for a bit of a revolution, because I think I may kick out Conte and some of the players up front, you know, to revolutionise the squad, sort of thing. But, you know, at the end of the day, I want to win the Champions League with the current squad. I think we do have the quality to win the Champions League. It's just they need to prove it to themselves that they are the quality players to win the Champions League. In terms of Premier League, should actually storm that really. I think we got now the best team in the actual competition overall. We got Kepa in goal, 5-star goalkeeper. We got, Hazard, Salah, Icardi. We got, so you could say them front three should, if they can, deliver, well, maybe even 50 goals for the club. Then in that midfield, obviously, which we've got a good midfield. We've got some good players, obviously. So, obviously, I think in terms of the quality of the actual squad, of the squad depth, we do have, really, really good quality. It's just about using it and making sure that we exploit it and make sure we don't leave anything on the table or on the bench here today. That's obviously the aim, of course. But, of course, we'll soon see. So, obviously, hopefully, we can get, as I say, quarterfinals is a must this season. An absolute must. Even semi-finals, I would say we should be able to get to. So yeah, obviously in our last two campaigns in the Champions League, certainly with Chelsea anyway, we haven't managed to get past the round of 16 yet. So obviously that's not good. To not being able to get past that round. So obviously, yeah. So we're now obviously advancing the clock forward. Hopefully, we'll progress. So, as I say, we're advancing the clock forward. We're now in November. Obviously, we've got games to West Ham, Burnley. Not too sure what that club is with this badge. We'll soon find out. We've played Palace, Shekel. That's Jank, whoever they are. Got this month Fulham, Liverpool, Napoli, Aston Villa, Newcastle, and obviously we got that game on the 31st. So obviously we're still looking good, I would have said. I don't think we're looking that bad overall. Hopefully, we'll be there or thereabouts, come the end of season. This is probably the toughest month, I would have said, overall. In terms of number of games, not necessarily teams to play, because Liverpool and Tottenham are probably the toughest two teams, whereas Villa, Newcastle, Leicester, you can always sometimes slip, but, it's only one of them fixtures. I don't think it's that bad. So for whatever reason, one of our games been brought forward to the 30th, so that's okay, I guess. Makes it a bit easier for me to navigate, sort of thing. Anyway, so next up, Palace, then Tottenham. We're away at Palace, by the looks of it. Are we away to Tottenham? Soon find out. Home Tottenham. So right, let's see how things have gone. Let's see some of our results. Hopefully they've gone good. So Pre-season weren't that great. 6-1 defeat, jeez. 3-1 defeat, even that's bad. 1-0, 4-0, 1-0, 4-0, 1-0. So, luckily, first few opening games weren't that bad. 2-1, 2-1, 4-0, 3-1, 2-1, 1-0 defeat in that Champions League Napoli game. 1-0, 2-0. I think we're undefeated in the league at the moment, by the looks of it, up to certainly that game. 2-0, 4-0, 4-0, 3-1, 1-0, 2-0 defeat to Palace, 4-0 loss, 2-1 defeat, 3-2 defeat. So leagues sort of slipping. Our form did. 2-all, 5-0, 2-1, 1-all, 1-all, 3-0, 2-1 defeat, 1-all, and a 3-1 win. So, for whatever reason, our form sort of slipped there mid-season. Let's see where we are in the league. It weren't bad, yeah, I'd say that's about right, 5 defeats, certainly in recent times. I think we would have been a lot higher, and I think we were on top of the table for maybe up till Christmas. Or, well, I think we were on top up probably till this game here, or this game here, one of them two, where we lost the lead. So, Christmas Eve, I think we were on top of the table, then after that we sort of slipped. Anyway, I think we're through in the Champions League anyway, so we're going to renew some player contracts, just in case we need them for, obviously, following season, Season 4. Hopefully we won't. Hopefully we can just do it this season. Hopefully we can make this to be the season we want it to be. Win the league, win the Champions League, and have a good season. We've got the talent, I think, personally. It's just whether or not we've got the motivation, I think, quite honestly. So, yeah, I think we do have the talent there. Oh, we've got Batshuayi. We've got some good players. Like, I don't think we can doubt that in the players we've got. So, we are in the Carrier Cup semi-finals. And we have got to round of 16, but a very, very tough fixture in Bayern Munich. Anyway, we'll skip now to May, and we'll see whether or not we can go after this league title. So obviously now May, as we now sort of let the game sim forward. So obviously we're progressing on. So we're now in April. We did get to the next round of the Champions League by the looks of it. Hopefully we progress a bit further than that. I don't think we have. But yeah, you know, obviously at least we've got further than the season before, you know, and seasons prior to that, which is good. So it shows the team's working a little bit better overall. So, you know, at the end of the day, I think season 4 could be the season where we do it. But I'm going to now watch Formula 1. So come back later to watch part 3. Of course. Got to the quarterfinals. We lost to Spurs. Only by a goal. But yeah, you know, obviously, as I say, come back later on if you want to see whether or not we can get to the Champions League final with this Chelsea rebuild series. Part 3, of course, will be out later. Did we win the league? Yes, we did. Again, actually, that's the same winning number we had in the first season. And no one's got above 80 points yet, interestingly, in the league. Everyone who's won the league has only managed that. Let's have a look at the goals. Harry Kane, Mo Salah did the job then and the business, and so did Hazard again, both scoring 17 goals each. Funny enough, that's how much they both scored in that first season as well. Both of them. Where's Icardi, the central striker? Again, Higuain's replacement is nowhere. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, then please leave it a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. See you all next time.